What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Big Ben's Podcast, episode 41, coming at you with y'all. This video is probably going to be a little bit shorter than most videos, just because we are on a severe time crunch here. But I wanted to get this video up today. So with that being said, let's get on to the rest of the video. Y'all, something I thought about earlier this week. Why was a paper shredder invented?
To do what it's called, shred paper.
Why would you want to shred paper, though?
Because you can make different stuff with shredded paper. Like baskets, beds, for like dogs and stuff. You know how they feel.
I believe that paper shredders were invented by someone who was trying to hide evidence.
They very well could have. Where they want to shred paper that they want other people to find of them.
But nowadays, people in, like, if you work in like an office type environment or something, you probably hear a paper shredder go off every day. It's just, I just find it kind of fishy that a lot of people say that paper shredders are used to shred important documents. Why would you want to shred them if they're important?
Yeah, they probably have some information you don't want out there, so you have to destroy it.
But why? You could easily keep it locked up.
Have you never watched GTA? Have you never played GTA 5?
Yeah, I'm playing GTA 5 now.
Every evidence. Why do you think Michael went into the what was IA building to delete his files?
You know, if Michael would have got caught doing that at GTA, he would have went to prison for the rest of his life. He was already going to have life in prison if someone found out who he truly was.
Exactly.
But I just find it fishy that, paper shredders were. What year were paper shredders invented? Look it up.
Find it out.
And yeah, I mean, nowadays, in 2025, there's a lot of uses for shredded paper. But when they first started shredding paper...
1909.
See, why would they need to shred paper in 1909? Ask Google why the first paper shredder was invented.
I'm probably just going to say to shred paper.
If it does that, Google's an asshole. Like, I know that. Y'all, sorry we don't seem like we have as much energy this morning. It is rather early for us. Well, I'm normally not up this early.
Yeah, it's a short. I'm not gonna say what it, but they wanted to shred some bad stuff.
See, the paper shredder was initially created for someone to destroy evidence against them. I
don't think it's appropriate what group of people use this stuff. I'm not gonna say it.
Let me see it. Pull it. I want to read it because I'm curious now. Yeah, I can't say that on YouTube, y'all.
Yeah, we're not gonna say that.
If you want to
search it up on your own if you want to know what it is.
That's what I was gonna say. I can't say that on YouTube. But talking about and like the paper shredder and inventions and all that, y'all, I realized the other day, and I'm not trying to be sexist or anything like that, but almost every man-made invention that we still use today was made by, like I said, a man. Almost every invention we have.
You think about like all the inventions back in the day, where women weren't really allowed to be in those fields.
I know, but I mean, still in 2025, a lot of inventions that we're getting nowadays are by man.
There's still some women that find inventions.
I haven't heard of any.
My head, but
mean, like I said, I'm not trying to be sexist. It's just like the light. I mean, this is a ring light. It's not a light bulb. But if Thomas Edison had never created a light bulb, what we have the ring light to film with today. If Benjamin Franklin did not discover electricity, how would we be able to power the electronics we use today? And I thought about that too. Benjamin Franklin was a dumbass.
Why? Point out the most obvious thing.
He was walking around outside during a thunderstorm with a key connected to a kite to see if electricity would shock him. Bruh, nah, it's going to shock. Imagine if
but you don't know that back in the day. They were just discovering how Mother Nature works.
Well, he almost fucked around and found out, but thankfully he was able to discover it. The telephone. Now, y'all, telephones have come a long way since when they were first invented. I mean, me and Landon grew up in the time where our phone didn't have a cord coming out of it. You could take it anywhere you wanted.
Had a house phone. Nobody has a house phone anymore.
Nobody has a house phone in 2020. If you have a house phone, you're either living with your grandparents or your parents are just very, very old school, and they like to have, a little bit of the past. But nowadays, your cell phone is what I'm using to record. That's your cell phone now. You can just walk around with it in your pocket. And I think, would you say that the U.S. Constitution was an invention, or was it just?
Really, it's more common sense, but they just made it kind of like I guess simple rules that a person should follow and have the rights to. But
is your microphone still on?
I mean, I guess it is an invention because, yeah. I don't know.
I was only making.
I guess it is an invention because it was the Bill of Rights and they invented the Bill of Rights. But
yeah, just thousands of inventions. The first ever car was made by man.
Yeah, that's like years ago, where women didn't have.
The first car was invented in what? I know it was 1900s.
Because most time women were housewives and stuff back then. They didn't have enough time to work the telephone.
You want to know the funny thing? All the people that invented these things, I don't think were married.
Exactly, they had to stay on that ground. They didn't have time.
Like, look up real quick. Just like, for example, see if Thomas Edison. See if Alexander Graham Bell was married. He's the one that invented the telephone. Again, y'all, I'm not trying to be sexist or anything, but just it's kind of odd to think about that. Out of the entire history of America,
he did have a wife.
He did. That most of the thing that we know today and that we use every day was created by men. But
let's see some stuff women invented.
Yeah, let's look up some stuff a woman has invented. But yeah, y'all.
The first dishwasher. They invented the first dishwasher. The windshield wiper.
Never mind. Those
GPS and Bluetooth.
Those are like 4 things that we use every day.
Modern home security system.
I know I use Bluetooth every day.
Etc. Coffee filters. See, they created some useful things.
Especially coffee filters. Can you imagine how many coffee filters are used every day?
Millions.
A lot of people drink coffee. I don't really drink coffee much anymore. I did at one point, and I'll still drink a cup here and there. But I don't care for it as much as I used to. Landon to drink some every so often. Okay. But yeah, so that's just something interesting to think about. But let's get on. Y'all, Clash in Paris was an interesting PLE for WWE this year. Elena, what were your thoughts on Clash in Paris?
It was a pretty good show. I think it went too long though. It had been 4 hours, but
Raina fell asleep during the first match.
yeah.
How dare you? You fell asleep during the OTC's match.
I woke up when he started getting beat up. I only took like a 5-minute nap. I was tired because I woke up at like 7 o'clock that morning.
Roman Reigns finally got his shoes back, and then he got absolutely cut in half by Braun Breaker. To be honest with you, I thought Braun Breaker was going to attack Bronson Reed because he lost. I thought that he was going to. But that match was pretty good. Roman deserved the win, which I knew he was going to win because even though Roman Reigns is not the WWE champion anymore, he's still one of the top stars in WWE. So I had a feeling he was going to win. Next match was the Tag Team Championship match between the Street Profits and the Wyatt Six. The Street Profits come out wearing ring gear, promoting the new Borderlands 4 that's coming out this month. Coming out, I think, on the 12th. Why am I kicking the stand? That was a good match, but I feel some tension rising between
The Street Profits.
I couldn't think of their actual names.
Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford.
Yeah, them. There is some tension building between them, which ultimately I think.
Strange how it was out of nowhere because they haven't had tension ever. I don't think.
Then the next match was
Nikki Bella and Becky Lynch.
no, that match was kind of a flop. I think that match could have been a lot better, but WWE was playing, and they didn't want.
Nikki Bella can't wrestle. Just say it how it is, anyway.
Nikki Bella can wrestle.
No, she can't.
She can wrestle with the best of them in the women's locker room. It's just that match flopped terribly. I think that match could have been a lot better. Then the next match we had John Cena, Logan Paul. John Cena whipped Logan Paul's behind, which I knew he was going to.
Match.
Y'all, a lot of people say Logan Paul is an outsider in WWE. I think that Logan Paul was born to be in the WWE. I mean, although his character on TV is terrible and literally no one likes him, you got to admit that some of the moves in the ring that he pulls off, not every wrestler can pull off. Even wrestlers that's been doing it for years don't want to have to do that. So that I would have to say. The main event.
Wait, there's another match before. Rusev and Sheamus in the good old Donnybrook match. That was one of the match of the year. That
was a good match. Sheamus, I really thought Sheamus was going to win though. Sheamus has been getting 30.
You need Rusev to win his first feud. That was Rusev's first feud since returning.
And
Sheamus can afford the loss.
What do you think was like the best spot of that match?
When they were on the barrels and went through the tables.
I think so too. But Sheamus and Rusev gave it all. Freaking Sheamus got put through a bar. Literally a bar. He was going to have to go to a bar after that to not feel pain that night. See, do Irishmen really love drinking like that? Because, I mean, I've heard that people from Ireland, can drink a lot. And so having Sheamus be put through a bar, I think was a subtle hint that he likes to drink a lot.
Probably do.
But Sheamus is in very, very, very good condition. Y'all, do you remember when Sheamus returned and he was a little chunky?
Burger after burger.
I heard in an interview he actually told Drew McIntyre to say that. I don't even think that was part of the promo that WWE wrote. He told Drew McIntyre to say that. But let's get into the main event of the night, which was the Fatal 4-Way: Jey Uso versus CM Punk versus LA Knight and the World Heavyweight Champion Seth freaking Rollins. Y'all, that match was good until the end.
Match was good. Well, underwhelming. Could have been better.
Because I say it was good to the end because Seth Rollins is a chicken shit.
Why?
Because he had his own wife come out and give a low blow to CM Punk. But I'm kind of glad that she did because we got the single greatest return of the year.
AJ Lee returning.
AJ Lee is officially back in the WWE. Y'all, to be honest with you, I never thought AJ Lee would return. Did you?
I figured at some point she would when CM Punk return.
But AJ Lee is back. But, I mean, can she actually wrestle? Because I looked up the night she returned why she left in the first place. One was because CM Punk left, and two was because she had permanent cervical spine damage.
Yeah, she can wrestle.
Y'all, another thing. This past Friday night SmackDown was epic. One, it was John Cena's last ever SmackDown in his career.
Had a banger match with Sami Zayn.
Until Brock Lesnar came out and obliterated John Cena.
Why does Brock always like to hurt John Cena for? What did John Cena ever do to Brock Lesnar, though?
But I think Sami Zayn's going to have some words for Brock Lesnar for interfering in his match. But yes, y'all, John Cena, y'all, we only have, 7 more dates of John Cena's farewell tour?
3 more months.
It is coming to an end very quickly. And like I've said before, I grew up watching John Cena. And I would say my least favorite storyline that he's ever been in was with the Nexus storyline. Wade Barrett treated him like dog water, bro.
I like when he was in the one with Laurinaitis or Laurinaitis.
John Laurinaitis?
Yeah, I didn't like when he was in that storyline. I think it was just retarded.
But yeah, so
and he ended up losing to him after he just beat Brock Lesnar like 3 months earlier.
But yeah, y'all, so I'm really looking forward to the next PLE, which is WrestlePalooza.
What a name.
That is a weird name. Like, part of your face is being cut off. Yeah, you're good. But y'all, the last thing I wanted to talk about today, while I was actually sitting down writing the ideas out for this podcast, I was watching Scooby-Doo 2, Monsters Unleashed. And that got me thinking, a few different people have played Shaggy. You've had Casey Kasem, Matthew Lillard, and there was another guy who played him for Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase. I don't know his name.
All 4 of those movies played Shaggy and Scooby.
But between the two that we know played, who do you think was better, Casey Kasem or Matthew Lillard?
Alright, I'm going to say Matthew. I'm going to give you why. One, because I love Matthew Lillard a lot. He's one of my favorite actors. He's underrated. He needs to be put in projects more.
He's been in like a few major projects.
Yeah, but not a lot.
He played in the first Scream. That blew up into a major movie.
Yeah, but then he had nothing after that until the Scooby-Doo movies.
And then he's also played at Five Nights at Freddy's. He's played in Without a Paddle, which were all major movies.
Without a Paddle was not that big of a movie.
Bro, he played with Seth Green.
Without a Paddle is a big movie, but not a big movie. It's not a generational movie.
Alright, continue.
But Casey Kasem, the one thing I didn't like.
Kasem.
The one thing I didn't like about him was that how his voice sounded. It sounded like he was an 80-year-old man that was trying to speak like he was a teenager. I think Matthew Lillard sounds more like a teenager when he talks as Shaggy. I think
Kasem. Why is it so hard?
Kasem.
Why is it so hard to say Kasem?
It's not that deep. Kasem.
But I think Casey Kasem was the best Shaggy. Only because he played Shaggy in the Where Are You, Scooby-Doo, or no, Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Is that what it is? I haven't watched Scooby-Doo in a long time, y'all. One, because I don't have cable, and two, I don't have every DVD like Landon does. Landon literally owns every DVD of Scooby-Doo there is.
And I got all the movies. I don't have all the shows.
But after a while, Casey Kasem stopped doing the voice of Shaggy. I know he did it for the entire series of Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Did he do it in What's New, Scooby-Doo? In What's New, Scooby-Doo? His voice just has a certain nostalgic feel for kids who grew up from 2001 or from 2000 to like 2010. His voice, I think, was the best match for one. He was the OG Shaggy. He was the first ever person to do Shaggy.
Yeah, but he sounded so old, dude. It sounded like it's a 9-year-old person.
That's because he was like 50 or 60 exactly. When he did
but
Shaggy.
You're not supposed to sound that old when you're supposed to act like when you're supposed to speak like a teenager, or at least be
Shaggy
like
wasn't a teenager.
Yes,
yeah, I was about to say. In Scooby Doo, where are you? Shaggy is not a teenager.
Yes, they are. They're teenagers all throughout the show.
They do not look teenagers.
They are.
Teenagers. They look like they're in their early 20s.
That or they're 18, 19, 20 in college.
Look up how old
because
the Scooby Doo gang is.
I think they're in college.
But yeah, y'all, a lot of y'all may know the Scooby Doo Where Are You? I'm talking about, like, What a Night for a Fright, I think it's called. That was a great episode. Scooby Doo Where Are You was just a big staple in my childhood for a while. I watched Scooby Doo a lot.
See, he's 17 years old when he's in the movies and shows.
That does not look like he's 17 years old.
See, you're supposed to be.
I mean, I see where you're coming from. Matthew Lillard has done Shaggy for a long time. Since the first Scooby Doo movie, he's been doing Shaggy.
Oh, he hasn't. He did the movies, then and then Casey Kasem did the movies up to like 2010, and then Matthew took over.
One thing I don't understand though is in the Scoob movie why they didn't have Matthew Lillard play Shaggy.
None of the characters played their character. The Velma, Frank Welker played Scooby, but that was it. He didn't play Fred.
Frank Welker
is a legend of Scooby-Doo.
He is. I believe every show and movie of Scooby-Doo he has worked on. And he's always done the voice of Fred, and he's done the voice of Scooby.
And he's not always done the voice of Scooby.
He's not always the voice of Scooby. Like,
I think, when did he start doing that? I don't think he... Did he do it? I don't know if he did it in the What's New Scooby-Doo movies or shows.
But Frank Welker is an absolute legend to the Scooby-Doo community because he stayed committed to that character for over 40 years.
He plays other parts, like I think Mask of the Blue Falcon.
He also plays Fred in Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase, which is the best Scooby-Doo movie of all time.
Like, he's been the only Fred of all time. There's not been any other in like animated films. There's not been another Fred.
Well, we've had Frank Welker. That's his name, right? My mind's still trying to get going. Frank Welker played Freddy in all the animated Scooby-Doos, but Freddie Prinze Jr. played Fred in the real life action movie. Do you think he was a pretty good Fred?
Yeah. I think the Scooby-Doo cast would, like, in terms of putting the characters with the actors, I think that was the best choice. Because who played Daphne again? It was
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah, who played Velma?
I don't remember.
It was a big actor. I mean, it was a loaded cast in them Scooby-Doo movies.
You want to know something that I just found out?
Green was in the second one.
I just found out yesterday. I mean, not yesterday, the other day, that Freddie Prinze Jr. and Sarah Michelle Gellar are actually married in real life. I didn't know that. They just celebrated 23 years of marriage. And I'm like, Daphne and Freddie got married? I didn't know that. But yeah, I think Freddie Prinze Jr. See, when you think of him now, with them putting him in the movie as Fred, you see him as a real life Fred now. Same thing with Matthew Lillard. You can walk up now, not nowadays, because Matthew Lillard has aged a lot since that movie's come out. I mean, he still looks good for his age, but he doesn't look like Shaggy anymore.
I still think he does, just with a beard.
Have you seen the interview of him explaining how he was able to get into the...
Yeah, he just became hoarse.
If some of y'all don't know, when Matthew went for the interview, what's the word I'm looking for?
Audition.
The audition for Shaggy, He showed up early, and he literally sat in his car and screamed himself hoarse so he could easily get into the voice of Shaggy. Now, I will say, Casey Kasem will always be the OG Shaggy. But I think the only thing Matthew Lillard does more or better than Casey Kasem is the more raspiness in his voice as Shaggy.
He sounds like a teenager. That's why I've always liked the Velmas, Daphnes, and Freds, even in the What's New, because they sound like they're young. They don't sound like they're so old.
Alright, y'all. Right here, I'm going to put in a couple clips.
I mean, I love Casey Kasem. I still think he's a GOAT. But I think Matthew Lillard is better.
I'm going to put a couple clips in right here of Casey Kasem Shaggy and Matthew Lillard Shaggy. So let me know down in the comment section which ones you like more. So I'm going to cut right here and I'll be back.
So scared. I wish I had a ham sandwich to calm my nerves. Well, what do you know? A ham sandwich.
But that means the end of the Scooby-Doo gang.
Alright, y'all. That was the clips. I'm telling you, Kasem just has a more nostalgic feel for a lot of people watching, I bet. If he does, let me know down in the comment section down below.
It don't matter if he's nostalgic. He has to be better.
He is better.
Nostalgia ain't better.
But anyway, y'all, that's going to be it for episode 41. Thank y'all guys so much for coming back and hanging out with us again this week. My mind's gone blank. But if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and the like button, because we are trying to grow to 200 subscribers before the end of the year. And I'm trying to keep myself from yawning. But with that being said, we're going to get on out of here, and we'll see y'all in the next one.